Okay, good evening, friends. So this is the first session about Smartpls 4. Smartpls 4 is entirely a new software offered by the company. And so first of all, try to understand the new software. This is the icon of Smartpls 4. And when you double click on it, this is the interface. So in the interface, you can see the new project. New project is the new data. So whenever you want to start a work, you have to create for a new project. And in Smartpls 3 means in the prior version, we are having the facility of running PLSM, but not regression and process. In this new software, we are having many new options, very attractive options, which we are not having in the prior versions. So we are having the option to run the regression. We are having option to run mediation and moderation through process also. And there are many other new things which we can see in the software. Now, when you open this page, the software asks you to create a workspace. So the workspace is nothing, it is a folder on the desktop. Like, for example, I created a folder like any folder like this, any folder you can create just one folder. So I created this folder, Smartpls workshop. So the software is asking this because anything which software want to save can save it here. So just create a workshop or folder in the name of Smartpls on the desktop or any other location. And you need to just choose workspace, choose the folder. Like I have my folder on the desktop, Smartpls, this is the folder, and select folder. That's it. So you can see that your current workspace is C user. This is the path of the folder. So after that, everything is fine. And let me delete this. Okay. So this is the basic start front page of the software. The first thing you need to do is to enter the data. So you need to click on the new project. New project means we are going to work with new data set. If you click on new project, the software require to name it. For example, this is day 1. So I am giving the name day 1. And after giving the name of the project, now you can do create. So when you create, you can see the day 1 folder comes here. So in every folder, in every project, so day 1 is basically a project. In normally every in other softwares we call it a file, open a file, save a file. So this software call it a project. Now when you create any project, the software asks you to import the data file. So if you click on the import, now I gave you many data sets. So click on this data set, exercise 1, PWQ. PWQ stands for perceived work quality. So you click on it and click on open. The one of the benefit of Smartpls 4 is that you can also import the SPSS file. So like I'm not importing it just now. In all earlier versions, we can import only the CSV files. CSV stands for comma separated files. So it is a format of Excel file. You can save your data in Excel file and you can only import the Excel file. But in a new version, you can also import a SPSS file because most of us are working on the SPSS file. So you just click on this data set, and if you have any SPSS data, so you can also import that. So we can open any data set, SPSS data set from here. So this is one of the option that we have. For example, I'm showing you how to import the SPSS data file. Let's say, so I have many SPSS files, just showing you how to import any one of them. Like for example, these are the SPSS data sets. If I click on this data, open, so you can see that software is imported the data set. So this is one of the benefit of Smartpls, that we can import Excel file in CSV format, and we can also import the SPSS file. This is the option that we didn't have in any previous version. And once you open the data, so you can see that the project name is day 1 and the name of the file is blockchain data. And these are the variables. These are the variables. Number of missing values is available here. In case any of the variable is having missing values, so all the values, missing values, you can see here. Then the type of the variable. So you can see that we are having 3 type of the variable. If your variable is categorical, you can click on categorical, like male, female, young, middle, old, low income group, high income group, middle income group. So this is the another feature that is added in the new version. So you can change the category of the variable. Like serial number normally is categorical. I'm not going to use the serial number in any of the analysis. The problem is that you are having only 3 options. You don't have any other option. So all the variables are measured on 1 to 7 scale. You can see that 1 is the minimum value, 7 is the maximum value. So all these variables are measured in 1 to 7 scale. Serial number is telling you that you are having 290 observations in this file, and you can scroll down to the last. So the last variable is having the minimum value 9 and maximum value 47. So if you want to change anything, you want to change the type of the variable, you can change from here. So first of all, you need to import the file, and once you are satisfied with all the formats, you just click on import. So in the last, you can see the import. Now, after importing the file, this software show you the basic analysis, like the type, missing values, mean of the variable. Like for example, RC1, the average of RC1 is 4.7, the median is 5, scale minimum is 1, scale maximum is 7, and you can go to the left hand side. This is the standard deviation, kurtosis, skewness, and skewness and kurtosis should be less than 1, because normally we assume that if we have the large data, large sample size, so it is expected that the kurtosis and skewness value should be less than 1. Okay, so all the values we are having, all the basic analysis we are having here. And if you want to see the correlation between the variables, you click on the indicator correlations. So the correlations are coming here. In correlation, you can see that the main diagonal is having 1 because correlation between RC1 and RC1 is 1. And in the upper matrix, it is 0. So because software is saying that you have to see only the lower triangular matrix, means below the 1. This is the correlation between serial number and RC1, but actually this is not meaningful, so we should not see that. The correlation between RC2 and RC3 is this. Correlation between RC2 and RC4 is this. So normally we want that variable should not have high correlation with any other construct. So for example, we should not have high correlation with RC2 with RCO2. So all the correlations are low. So if you want to analyze the correlation between the variables, between the items, so we can see from here. And you can minimize it, you can maximize it. So we are having very advanced features in Smartpls 4. And if you want to import it, so you just do one thing, copy to Excel. So, or export to Excel. What is the difference between export to Excel and copy to Excel is that if you open any Excel file, this is one of the biggest advantage of Smartpls. So let me open one Excel file. Let's say this Excel file. I can copy and paste all the results in this Excel file. Otherwise, you can do one thing. You click on export to Excel. I hope you can see in the left hand side, right hand side, most right hand side, we are having the option of export to Excel. So if you click on it, you can export this result in any Excel file in CSV format. So like for example, I am typing correlation and I am saving the correlation on the desktop. Save. So the correlation is saved on the desktop. So I can, this is the correlation file which we saved. If I click on it, so the correlation is opening like this because we saved in CSV format. So it is coming in CSV format. Otherwise, if you don't need CSV format, you just open Excel file and click on copy to Excel. Go to Excel file and paste here. So you can paste like this. So this option we will use frequently because whenever we have some output, we can save the output in the Excel file like this. So I hope you understand what is the meaning of copy to Excel, because we will repeat this step many times. So after some time, you will be very familiar with it. Export to Excel, sometimes we are having large reports, so we can export to the Excel. After that, after looking the basic data, you go back. Now, the software is saying that you already have the data set. Create a model. So left hand side, you can see we are having an option called create a model because we are using Smartpls for making model. So for that, I have to create a model. When you go to the create model, the project is this model type. There are only 3 types of model you can create in Smartpls 4. One is PLSM, regression, process. So in this workshop, first of all, we will learn the Smartpls type of models. Second, we will learn how to create regression type and then how to run on process. So first of all, I am going to Smartpls. Now software is asking you to give some name. So I am giving name Sam1. And this is the name of the model we are going to create, like this. So the moment I save it, the software is ready with the model. You have to create the model in this white page. So I am showing you some of the basic model we can create here. Like my first construct is RC. So I select RC. RC means regulatory compliance. I drag and drop, I drag. So software is asking that, are you satisfied with this name, RC, or you want to change the name? So I'm saying that I want to change the name regulatory compliance. So I am giving this name. And once you give this name, you just click OK, and automatically the construct is ready. So you can move this construct to any place. And you also have the option to minimize, maximize. In the bottom, you can see we are having an option called zoom. If you can see my cursor on the left, right hand side, bottom side. So I can zoom it, I can minimize it. So I can change the this space according to myself. Now, suppose I am also taking another factor, RCO, this is reduced cost, and I drag and drop. So you have to change the name, reduced cost, and enter. So you have reduced cost, one of the factor, and you can move the factor as per your choice. Right. I am again now creating the third factor, SR1. So this is SR, and the full form I forget, so let me keep it now just SR. So I have 3 construct this time, and I can create the model between the 3 factors. So the type of model I can create, I'm just showing you. In the top, you can see there is an option called connect. So select and connect. These 2 are very, very important. So I go to the connect. I can connect the 2 like this, and I can connect also like this. So my model is ready. When all the colors becomes blue, when all the factors becomes blue, so you can see that they are connected. And one of the unique feature we have in the Smartpls 4 is that suppose I want to delete it. So I go to the select. I want to delete this line. Now go to connect. This is a unique feature that you can connect in this way also. So now I can connect the model, the factor like this. This type of connection is called moderating effect. So this is the unique feature of a Smartpls to connect like this. This feature was not available in prior PLS versions. So in this way, it is a unique feature. So we can connect like this, and you can run moderating effect very easily. The another thing is that I'm just going back. So every time you go back, the software say that, would you like to save? I say yes. And now I want to create a new model. So just click on it, right click. And now I am going to create a new regression model. The name of the model is, I'm just showing you how regression we can run in Smartpls. So you can see that now the software is asking for a new regression model. It is a very unique feature in Smartpls 4. It is a new feature. Earlier, we are not having this feature. Suppose you want to run the regression model. So in regression model, we always have one dependent variable. So first of all, you can take one dependent variable. Total CA is, suppose it is my dependent variable. After that, I want to take some independent variable. You just take independent variable like this. Like this. So in this way, you can create independent variables very easily. So we are creating a regression model like this. In this regression model, total CA is dependent. This is intercept. And all the other variables are considered as independent variables. And after that, go back, save it. So you can see that you are having one regression model in this data set, one PLS model in this data set. So if you want to see PLS model, go to this. You can see the model. In this model, I'm showing you some other features. If you click on this, the factor, do the right click. If you do the right click, you have the option of hide indicators. Sometimes model is very big. So if we click on this, all the yellow, these are the statements, they becomes hide. Again, if you click on show indicators, it will come up. So sometimes we hide all the indicators. If you hide all the indicators, the model is looking like this. Sometimes we do that because model is very big. And if you want to show it, you just click on show, and show indicators. So you have this option. Other option is that suppose all these are the top. I can move to the left. If I click on align indicators to the left, so all the indicators will come on the left side. If I again right click and click on the align indicators to the bottom, all the indicators come on the bottom. The softwares call all these items as indicators. So this is the Smartpls nomenclature of calling the items. Similarly, if you click on the align indicator to the right, so they will come on the right hand side. So it is upon you how you manage all these things. So I take on the top. And sometimes we also want to manage this, so you can take near to each other like this. So you can manage the indicators like this, and even you can also change the shape. So this is also a facility that we have in Smartpls 4. You can see that we can change the shape of the indicators. And why these are required? Because sometimes the model is very big and we have to make the model in a limited space. So we have to do all these things to make our model beautiful. Yeah. So you can alter this model like this. Okay. So in this way, we can make the model. So this is a basic introduction of this. And anything if you want to run, we are having an option of calculate. If you click on the calculate, so you can see that we are having so many options, and slowly we will learn all of these options, like what is the meaning of PLS algorithm, bootstrapping, confirmatory tetrad analysis, IPMA analysis, PLS predict analysis. So slowly we will discuss all the options. So these are the options in case of PLS model. If you go back, changes, go to regression model, and if you see the calculate, so there are three options: regression analysis, necessary condition analysis. So this is a new feature, and NCA permutation. So we are having the options here also. Similarly, if you run a process, you will have another options. So calculate is a icon where we are having different options to run. So slowly and slowly we will run all the options. And when you go back, this is also visible to you. And once you finish it, suppose you are not requiring this, so you just right click on it, and you can export the project. So when you export the project, you can save it in any folder, and you can import this project from later on. Suppose you are using Smartpls 3 or using any other version of Smartpls, then you can import this very easily. So you can export the project, you can import the project. Sometimes suppose I want to send this all the data set, all the diagrams and all the results to somebody else. So in prior version, we are not having this facility, but now I have seen that if we can export the project and anybody else can take this project as it is. Means as it is means all the diagrams are ready-made. And if you don't require the project, you can archive the project. Archive the project means the project will go to a recycle bin sort of thing. So if I archive the project, so archive the project means it's a Almira. You keep your project in Almira like that. And when you click on this, so you can see that there are 3 projects already lying here. And all the 3 projects are the project which I do not require now. And but if I want to restore the project, I just click on this and restore project from archive. If you permanently delete, you can delete the resource. It will permanently delete it from here, but I'm not going to delete it. I want to restore project from archive, so it will come back. So this is the interface of the Smartpls 4, and these are the some data set software is providing to you. Sample projects. Sample project means the software is providing you some sample data set, and like for example, corporate reputation is a data set. All these are the data set. So if time requires, we will download these data set and we'll run these data set also. And I will also give you my data set. So both data set we will use. So this is the basic framework about the Smartpls 4. So today, basically you need to get familiarity with the software so that you can start making a project, analyzing the project. And basic things which I want to discuss is I mentioned in the PPT. So I do a small research on this Smartpls 4 and make this PPT. If you want to download the software, there are 2 type of options we are having. So you can see that Smartpls 4 downloads. So you have to go for this, and 2 options are here: Windows 64-bit, Mac. So if you are using Apple, you can use this option, or if you are having Windows with 64-bit, 90% of these laptops are on 64-bit. So you can download from here. And once you download, you have a file saved in the download folder. So you can install from there. And this is the front page interface of Smartpls 4. And I hope that now you are familiar with the software. you know that what is the project, what is the uh, new project, PLS, and all these means. And what is new in the Smartpls? So because those who are using Smartpls 3, so these are the changes that the company added to the software. Now you are having the redesigned graphic user interface, totally new interface they are providing to you, which is better in many terms. So slowly and slowly, when you use this interface, you will get familiar with it, and slowly you start enjoying working with it. Performance is better because in previous packages they were performing very slowly. The performance has improved significantly in many areas. Like algorithm like bootstrapping or Fimix are now much faster. The earlier versions were very slow in running these algorithms, but now the new is running fast. Now, in earlier, you can import only the Excel files, but now you can import the SPSS files also. So I just demonstrated this. And you can generate new data files from your results. So whatever result you are drawing, you can save all the results in a new file. So this is the features we are having. You can save your reports. If you can save the report in Excel file. And charts, some charts are very attractive in new feature, because there is one chart which we used frequently, like for example, IPMA chart, IPMA chart, importance and performance analysis charts. So in previous version, the charts are not very attractive. So normally we take the data set and make the chart in Excel file. But now we are having very attractive charts. And many new methods they introduced in this new software. You can apply the Gauss Coppola model, you can apply the regression model, you can apply the process model. So these are the different options they added in the Smartpls 4. So they mentioned that all the information I took from the website of the Smartpls 4, the endogeneity assessment using the Gaussian Coppola approach. So this is a new approach. In previous versions, this approach was not available, but in new version they provided this Gaussian Coppola approach. So that is a new thing which we are having. And they also provided a very innovative kind of results, like necessary condition analysis, NCA. So this is entirely new thing which we are not having in previous versions. Whenever you run the regression model, there are many necessary conditions you need to check. So by just clicking few buttons, we can have all the result at one time. Even I have seen that in SPSS, because normally we run the regression in SPSS. In SPSS, we don't have many options. Like we don't have the option of heteroscedasticity. But in Smartpls, we can also check Bruch-Fagan test in Smartpls. So the point is that we are having many new tests which we are not having in any other software. So we can run the necessary condition analysis, which is a very unique thing in a Smartpls. And regression model, you can develop your own regression models here with many new features. You can run path analysis and process along with bootstrapping of conditional direct and indirect effects. So this is a new option which makes this software very strong. Multiple moderations, three-way interactions. Earlier we were not having this facility in the previous versions. And standardized, unstandardized, mean-centered PLS CLM analysis. So there are many new features added in Smartpls 4. And we are going to discuss all these options, and which actually makes this workshop a unique kind of workshop. So I hope you will enjoy all these things. And you can see that we just run this kind of moderation analysis in the Smartpls. And when not only you can run this analysis, also the biggest problem that we had in the previous versions, that how to make the graphs, moderation graphs. In all the previous versions, it is just impossible to make the moderation graphs. But in this new version, it becomes very easy to make very attractive moderation graphs. So we are having many new features in the Smartpls 4, and I hope you will enjoy that. So this is the basic introduction of the Smartpls 4, and those who are using Smartpls 3, I hope they are slowly become familiar with the new version. And okay, so after that, after introducing the new software Smartpls 4, I am going to the basic things which we have to understand. So okay, so in day one, we are having two slides. Now I'm basically introducing the PLSM. So basic thing, assuming that you are at 0 level, so starting from very basic. So basic thing you should understand. Okay. So the first thing you need to understand that whenever we are making the models, so in every model, you are having the blue circle and the yellow rectangles. The yellow rectangles are known as indicators or items or statements. Basically, these are the statements which are available in the questionnaire. So you must remember that we have to give some code like this, PWQ1, PWQ2. So these are the codes you need to provide to the items. And when you make the graph, you can see all the codes. Construct is something which is, we are not having the data of the construct. Construct is something which cannot be measured directly, but it can be measured with the help of the items. Like for example, if we want to measure the performance of a faculty, so performance of a faculty cannot be measured directly, or feedback of a faculty cannot be measured directly. Rather, feedback can be measured with the help of some statements. So you can understand like that the blue circles are basically the construct, like the feedback, or these are the items which we are using to measure the feedback. So simply, yellow means item or indicators, and the circle means the construct. So this is the difference between construct and the item. Construct are known as unobserved or latent variable. Items are measured variable because we directly measure them. Cannot be measured directly, can be measured directly, represented by the ellipse, and a rectangle is represented by the representing the item. Like this is a questionnaire. When you use questionnaire, you write the name of the construct like this. So it is a construct. Financial attitude is a construct. And financial attitude is measured by 5 statements. So these statements are basically the yellow rectangles or the indicators. So you need to understand that what is the meaning of the construct and what is the item. So this is the construct and this is the item. Okay. So whenever you make a diagram, so diagram is represented like this. This diagram is divided into 2 parts. One between the blue and between blue and yellow. So this diagram is divided into 2 parts. Between the blue, like this performance expectancy to behavioral intention. This is blue and blue. It is called impact. So hypothesis is representing the impact of performance expectancy on behavioral intention. And the relationship between blue and yellow, it is called outer model. Outer model is representing the validity, whether all the construct are represented by their items. So from this part, we are representing that all the items are significantly representing their construct. So it is used for validity analysis. So this is the model, this kind of model we can make in Smartpls. And I hope up to this point, you understand that all the blue circles are called construct or factor or latent variable, and all the yellow rectangles are representing the items or statements which are there in the questionnaire. And there are two type of theory we work with the in the research. We are having two type of constructs. There are two type of blue constructs. One is called formative construct, and the another is called reflective construct. So these are the basic definitions which we should understand. Now, if you compare these two constructs, so in this case, the direction of the arrow is from the yellow to the blue. You can see the direction of the arrow. Direction of the arrow is from yellow to blue. It means the construct is the outcome of all these things. Like, for example, digital marketing practices. So we observe that in digital marketing practices, these are all type of practices in digital marketing, but every company is not using all of them. It is, some companies are giving more focus on the website, some companies are giving more focus on the social media. So all of them may not exist together. So we make this construct formative. So we say that the digital marketing practices is coming from all these practices. So it is a formative construct. And perceived work quality means if the working condition in a company is very good, then it is reflected by all these items. So all these items are basically representing the construct. So we call it reflective because all the yellow rectangles are representation of the construct. So you have to understand that we are having two type of constructs, this type of arrow and this type of arrow. This is reflective and this is formative. And if you are thinking that who will tell me whether my construct is formative or reflective, the answer is most of the constructs, whether they are reflective or formative, come from the literature review. So when you do the literature review, you came to know that whether my construct is formative or whether my construct is reflective. So there are two theories like reflective and formative. I already explained you. Now, this is also representing the same thing. In this case, if I ask you that there are two constructs X and Y, and if I ask you which is formative and which is reflective, so I think you can make an idea, you can make a guess. Like, for example, the X construct, if I ask you whether it is reflective or formative, I hope you can make a guess very easily. This is reflective in nature and this is formative in nature. By looking at these arrows, you can tell me whether the construct is reflective, like this, X is reflective and Y is formative. So if arrow is towards the construct, formative. If arrow is toward the indicators, it is reflective. So why the reflective and formative is important, because if any of your construct is formative, you have no choice to apply Smartpls 4, because in any other software you cannot do it, because we are having AMOS software. AMOS is not able to handle the formative construct. So if you are using formative construct or reflective construct or mix of formative and reflective, you can use Smartpls very easily. Even if your all the constructs are reflective, even then you can use the Smartpls 4. If you have all reflective construct in your research, you have two options. You can go to the AMOS, you can go to the Smartpls, you have both the options. But in case if you have any of the formative construct in your study, you have no option. You have to apply Smartpls 4. So this is the compulsion that we are having in this in case of Smartpls 4. Okay, so one more example of formative and reflective. Stress. If I assume that it is a formative construct, so it is coming from all these reasons. And if I assume stress as a reflective construct, it means if you are suffering from stress, what comes after that? So if you are suffering from stress, all these things will come. And if I ask you from where it is coming, the stress is coming, may come from all these reasons. So sometimes same construct can be created as reflective or formative. Okay, so these are the ways how to decide whether the construct is formative or reflective. So who will decide whether the construct is formative or reflective? Number one, theory and the literature support. Like for example, theory say that financial literacy is a formative construct. So you have to deal it like that. Because theory is in almost every paper, it is mentioned that financial literacy is a formative construct. So you have to deal with formative also. And if the theory say that it is a reflective construct, like for example, the organization culture is a reflective, or the service quality in most of the papers, they are saying it is a reflective. So we have to take it as a reflective. Digital marketing is considered as a formative, so we have to take it as a formative construct. So who will decide that whether the construct is formative and reflective? Answer is the theory. And sometimes the nature of the relationship between the items and the construct. Sometimes construct is the outcome, and sometimes the construct is reflected by different indicators. So we have to think that what is the relationship between construct and the items. So accordingly, we will decide whether it is a reflective or formative. And one of the most important indicator of formative and reflective is the correlation. If the correlation between the construct, between the items, between the indicators is very high, it is reflective. If the correlation between the items is very low, it is formative. So on the base of the correlations, we got some idea. And this basic, whether the correlation between the items, if it is low, it is supposed to be formative. If the correlation between the items is very high, it is supposed to be reflective. And there is a statistical method which is confirming whether it is a formative or reflective. This method is known as confirmatory tetrad analysis. So confirmatory tetrad analysis is a statistical method which actually tells you whether this is a formative or it is a reflective. Yeah. So one more thing, and after that I will finish the session. And because this is the one of the important basic, most of you may know this, but assuming there's you don't know this, please listen. There are basically different kind of model or constructs: zero order, first order, and second order construct. And many research scholars have confusion related to this. Basically, if you are using the if you are measuring the construct with the items, if you are measuring the construct from the item. So this construct is known as zero order construct. So zero order construct is a single construct which is measured with the help of item. In this case, perceived work quality is measured by 6 statements. So it is considered as a zero order construct. Now, in this case, you can see we are having 5 zero order construct. So when you are making a model where minimum 2 zero order construct are there, so any model consisting of minimum 2 zero order construct, this model is known as first order. So in AMOS, we use first order CFA, first order SEM. Similarly, in Smartpls, the same model can be used for first order CFA and first order SEM. So same model can be used in both the cases. So I'm saying it is a first order. Why it is a first order? Because this model is having at least 2 zero order construct. So that's why it is a first order SEM. After that, we are having second order. The second order means when the construct is measured by the construct. When the construct is measured by the construct. So like for example, in this case, retention strategy is measured by the 7 construct. Similarly, the service quality is measured by 5 construct like empathy, responsiveness, reliability, right? Then tangibility. So in that case, the construct is known as second order construct. Emotional intelligence is measured by social intelligence, personal intelligence. Employee branding is also a second order construct. Personality trait is also a second order construct. So in literature, we are having many constructs which are actually not measured by the items, they are measured by their another construct. So you should know that whether the construct is second order or whether the construct is a first order, because second order construct requires special techniques to apply, which we will discuss in some lecture. So it is a second order construct. Now I hope you understand what is the difference between the first order and second order construct. Okay, so after that, I will continue in the next session on Wednesday. So the purpose of today's session is just to introduce the software and tell you the basic things. So in basics, we discussed that whether the construct is zero order, second order, first order, or whether the construct is formative or reflective. So up to here, you have to just remember, learn, and if you have any confusion, we can discuss in the discussion. And from here, we will discuss in next session.